I'm here with Peter Tuchman. He is from Quattro Securities. You've been here for 30 years working on the floor.
I have.
What do you make of this? At one point today, the Dow is down 1,000 points.
It was down actually 1,050. Look, we opened the market. We came in and the futures were pointing at 1,000-point decline on the open, and it actually lived up to that, which is outrageous. Stocks were opening down $4, $5, $6, $7. I think it's a lot of things. Obviously, it's China. China had 2,000 stocks down limit this morning. We've got oil sliding overnight. There was a huge move in the futures market in the middle of the night, apparently, worldwide. So that forced us down. We opened, and the thing is that once New York stocks start to open down at the levels they did, that's going to drag the Dow all the way down. Okay, then you have people who are averaging their positions lower, averaging their positions down. There are bottom feeders. There are people who are trying to pick a bottom. There are day traders trying to make some quick money. Those guys were the ones who turned out to be right. We've rallied back 500 points from the opening. So there are these 5-point swings in stocks. So there are a lot of people who are right today, and there are a lot of people whose positions are really down.
So people at home are trying to make sense of all this. Like I said, you've been here 30 years. What would you equate this to? Have you seen anything like
for me, it felt like the crash of '87. I was a clerk here, and I'd been down here for 3 or 4 years. That was the largest the Dow has ever been down. We ended up closing down 650 points. Stocks were trading down. People were coming in waves with sell orders. And it just felt like that. We're getting a sense of, you feel a sense of panic down here, which is, brokers conveying what's on the other end of this phone. I've got customers who have orders, who have billions of dollars invested in the market. So you're going to convey some fear, but then there are other customers on the other end of this phone who are people they want to see things down. This market's been teetering at the top for a long time. These are great buying opportunities. Those who bet on the buying opportunity are up 500 points right now.
Do you still feel good about the market in general, long term?
You know what? I'm a bull in general. I think the market, will rebound. If we look at it historically, over the last couple of years, every sell-off we've had has rebounded with an even bigger rally. This is a little bit different, though. We saw a 1,000-point move last week. We saw determined selling, selling with conviction. That's a little different, But if you think about it, a week ago we were going, oh my God, no matter what happens in the market, we just keep going higher. That was a week ago. And then we entered a week that was really questionable. We had, stuff going on in China, PMI. We had oil breaking down below the low 6-year lows. And then over the weekend, things just got exacerbated. And so, this is a nice bounce from down 1,000. Do I think it's sort of a strange lull here now because we're feeling good about the fact that we're only down 450 points. That's kind of a scary spot to be in.
What a difference a week makes.
We've seen down 1,000. No one down here has ever seen down 1,000 before. So within a day's excitement and energy and freneticness, this is a good spot to be in right now. Do I think we may close down lower from here? I kind of think so.
For people who are watching, do you have any guesses at when the bottom will reach the bottom here?
You know what? There's so many opinions about this. There are guys who said definitely we're going to see a bounce off the big low of the open, and those people were right. Some people think we're going to close actually lower when things settle in. We're coming into an end of the month, end of August. We're coming into some rebalances. We still have major pressure on oil. So, I think things will settle in. You know what? I'm not an economist. It's really hard to predict where we go from here.
Do you think that, I know that there's that fail-safe, if the market drops 7%, trading could be halted for 15 minutes?
You know what? It almost felt like we were heading in that direction this morning. We've had a lot of what's called limit up, limit down. Where stocks trade in a volatility range of more than 10%, we stop them. Okay, that's the wonderful thing about the New York Stock Exchange, is that while you're going to see volatility. Today we saw it like we've never seen it before, but it was orderly. There was a sense of panic, but it was an orderly open. Stocks traded orderly. Nobody was disadvantaged financially, except that we're down. That's the fact.
Peter, just stay with me for 1 second. The anchors have a question.
Yeah,
Elaine,
ask him, I'm curious because he said this feels different people are selling with conviction. And I wonder if you could ask Peter to elaborate. What does he mean? Because when people hear that, that signals something that obviously even someone the likes of him hasn't seen before. What did he mean when he said this time feels different, people are selling with conviction?
So the question is, you said that this time around feels different from what you've seen in the past. People are selling with conviction. What exactly do you mean by that?
Okay, so you've got, in a trading, when stocks are trading in a range, okay, what we saw last week was, stocks for the last couple of months, you've had moves of up 200 and down 200. People, it gets to a double bottom, it gets to a technical level. There are people who are short the market who cover, it bounces back. So when a stock market goes up and down in similar patterns through a band, okay, with same velocity, then that's just people buying and selling. That's the nature of the market. But what we saw last week was that when it was going up, it was sort of going up a little slowly, sluggishly, and when it was going down with conviction. That's a sense that people who are actually selling want to get out of stocks. They're doing it with determination. They're doing it with conviction. That's a different thing than a market just sort of, buyers and sellers going up and down. Like a roller coaster, this is like little bits of sluggish up with determined downs. That means that people are making a bet that the market's going down. People are selling, getting out of stocks, getting into cash. It goes with a week of, we had a week last week where the fear index, the VIX, went from 12 to 28. That's a huge thing. That means that people around were buying protection against their positions. They were fearful. People were getting out of stocks. Some people were there was redemption. There was probably some margin calls. People have big bets in this market.
Are you surprised it's happening now at the end of August, which is typically such a slow time for the markets, a lot of traders on vacation?
We've had big moves in the market intraday in August because a lot of people are away. So the liquidity is kind of thin, right? So you're able to move the market up and down. It seems to me this morning that wherever people were on vacation, they were hitting some buttons and selling some stock.
Scary time.
It is actually, yeah. Super exciting time though.
All right, Peter Tuchman, thank you so much. Vlad and Elaine, any more questions for Peter?
No, I think we're good. Jill, thank you very much. Thank you, Peter. Thank you both.